Since this has all been exposed, well, it's actually known to many people, but it has now been exposed to the general public. Do you blame them for going out?
Sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta. Sana patuloy yung
Great today. The crowd was amazing and it was a good match, so I'm really happy with the performance. I didn't have that
Señor Presidente, Excelencias, me llamo Ferdinand Marcos, encantado de conocerles a todos. Y soy el presidente de la República de Filipinas.
Absolutely untouchable. The tennis world is reeling as Alexandra Eala completely shuts down pop icon Sarah Geronimo, following a vicious rich kid slur only to step onto the court and dismantle her rival in the ultimate act of vengeance. Welcome back to the premier destination for tennis fanatics. The only place where we do not just cover the matches, we live them. We are committed to uncovering the raw truth buried beneath the headlines, exposing the intense drama behind the baseline, and bringing you the human stories that transform this beautiful sport into something far greater than just a game. But before we unpack the most jaw-dropping, career-defining moment in the entire history of Philippine tennis, we need to take a brief moment to celebrate a milestone that is absolutely incredible for our community. We have officially smashed right through the 4,000 subscriber barrier, a massive achievement for our growing squad. That is 4,000 of you amazing tennis fanatics who have joined our family, and let me tell you honestly, we are barely getting started. You are the high-octane fuel that keeps this engine firing on all cylinders, and we could not be more grateful for your support. If you are new here, welcome to the team. Get comfortable, grab your popcorn, and settle in because we are about to unravel a story that has absolutely everything. Celebrity feuds, redemption arcs, controversy, and some of the most electrifying tennis action you will witness all year. Now let us dive straight into the chaos. This week, the glamorous world of entertainment and the gritty world of professional sports collided in the most spectacular, messy, and absolutely unforgettable explosion possible. We are investigating a heated confrontation that allegedly went down between Philippine tennis superstar Alexandra Eala and pop legend Sarah Geronimo. This is a showdown so volatile and intense that it has the entire nation taking sides and the internet absolutely melting down with hot takes and opinions. Picture this scene: a high-end VIP lounge somewhere in Manila. The air is thick with tension. Celebrities are mingling, glasses are clinking, the usual glamorous scene is unfolding, and then suddenly, a voice cuts through the polite chatter like a razor blade through silence. According to multiple reports and stunned eyewitness accounts that have been circulating like wildfire across social media, that voice belonged to none other than Sarah Geronimo, and the words she allegedly spoke have ignited a firestorm that will not be extinguished anytime soon. The shocking accusation was that Alex, the absolute pride of Philippine tennis, the young woman who has represented the red, white, blue, and yellow on the world's biggest stages, only achieved her success because mommy and daddy opened their checkbooks. You heard that correctly. Sarah allegedly dismissed every single drop of sweat, every tear shed on foreign clay courts, and every lonely night spent thousands of miles away from home, reducing Alex's epic journey to nothing more than privilege and cash. But the insults did not stop there. Insider reports suggest Sarah went even further, questioning Alex's patriotism and loyalty to the Philippines, insinuating that she abandoned her homeland just to chase fame and fortune across the United States and Europe. The implication was brutal and clear. She was essentially saying, "You are not one of us anymore. You are a sellout. You are just a rich kid playing a rich kid's game." Now let us pause for a second and really let the weight of that sink in. Alexandra Eala has been carrying the heavy weight of an entire nation's tennis dreams on her shoulders since she was practically a child. She left her family behind at an incredibly young age to train at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain. She endured the grueling junior circuit, battling severe homesickness, difficult language barriers, and ruthless opponents who wanted nothing more than to crush her dreams into the dust. She won the US Open Girls Doubles title in 2021. She followed that up with the historic French Open Girls Singles Championship in 2022, becoming the first Filipino athlete to ever accomplish that massive feat. She captured the bronze medal at the Asian Games, putting the Philippines on the global tennis map in a way that had never been done before in history. And in 2024, she broke into the top 100 in the WTA rankings. And now here in 2026, she has climbed all the way to the top 50, proving she belongs among the elite players in the world. And yet, someone had the absolute audacity to call that privilege. Listen, Money can buy a lot of things. It can buy a top-tier racket. It can buy court time. It can buy business-class flights to tournaments. But money cannot buy heart. Money cannot buy the ability to stare down match point when you are exhausted and find a way to win. Money cannot buy the mental toughness required to lose in the first round, get back on a plane, fly to another country, and do it all over again the very next week. That kind of resilience is earned. That is forged in the fire of competition. That is the result of sacrifice that most people will never understand. So when Alex Eala heard those words, when she heard her entire life's work reduced to a bank account number, something inside her snapped. And honestly, can you really blame her? For years, we have known Alex as the sweet, humble, soft-spoken champion. We have seen her give gracious interviews time and time again. We have watched her thank her family, her coaches, and her supporters with genuine warmth. But even the kindest, most patient person has a breaking point. And this moment was hers. Meanwhile, on the court, Maria fell to world number 174 Tatiana Prozorova in what can only be described as the biggest shock of the tournament so far. The final scoreline reads 7-6 in a tiebreak 6-4. But those numbers do not even begin to capture the drama that unfolded during the match. From the very first point, Maria looked completely uncomfortable and out of sorts. Maybe it was Manila's suffocating humidity affecting her game. Maybe it was the crushing pressure of being the top seed, or perhaps it was severe jet lag, but she simply could not find her rhythm. Or perhaps the real narrative here is the absolute absence of fear from the 22-year-old Russian sensation staring her down from the other side of the net. Prozorova did not just show up to play a standard game of tennis today. She was out there like a predator stalking its prey, hunting down every opportunity and launching a relentless offensive attack. She neutralized every single one of Maria's signature slice shots, adjusted perfectly to the tricky, uneven bounces of the court, and returned fire with such explosive power that the fans in Manila sat in stunned silence. The atmosphere in the stadium was thick enough to cut with a knife, radiating pure tension as Maria scrambled desperately, failing to find even a semblance of her usual rhythm. We cannot forget the pedigree we are talking about here. This is a former Wimbledon semi-finalist, a veteran mother on tour who has witnessed virtually every scenario this sport can produce. Yet facing Prozorova, she appeared completely bewildered, grasping for solutions to a puzzle that she simply could not solve. The first set tiebreak turned into an unmitigated catastrophe for the tournament's top seed as she capitulated with a lopsided 7-2 scoreline. With every lost point, you could practically witness the self-belief evaporating from Maria's gaze. When Prozorova finally clinched the second set, 6-4, cementing what has to be one of the most stunning upsets of 2026, the shockwaves tearing through the arena were undeniable. The number one seed has been eliminated. The heavy favorite has officially exited the premises, and the entire draw has been blown completely wide open. So what does a seismic shock of this magnitude actually mean for the rest of the event? It spells absolute chaos for the bracket, but more importantly, it signifies a golden, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the survivors. Crucially for our narrative, this development means that the pride of the Philippines, Alex Eala, now stands as the highest-seeded player left in the entire competition. Take a moment to let that reality sink in. Alex Eala, at barely 20 years of age, and sitting at a career-high world ranking of 49, has suddenly become the woman to beat. The metaphorical target painted on her back didn't just get bigger. It expanded 10 times over in a split second. Every single player left in that locker room is staring at the bracket right now with a newfound conviction, thinking, I actually have a shot at winning this whole thing. The quiet whispers of hope have transformed into roaring declarations. The underdogs can smell blood in the water circling for the kill, but they all face the monumental task of going through the Filipino tennis sensation first. However, before we analyze Alex's impending nightmare of a matchup, and believe me, it is a massive challenge, we must discuss the other major force causing ripples through this tournament. At the very moment the top seed was crumbling under the weight of expectation, another star was ascending rapidly, establishing herself as the adopted favorite of the Filipino fans. We are referring, of course, to the tournament's fourth seed, the powerhouse from Croatia, Donna Vekic. The local supporters have bestowed upon her the most charming moniker imaginable, affectionately calling her Teta Donna. For those not fluent in Filipino, Teta translates to auntie, serving as a profound term of endearment that illustrates just how deeply the locals have embraced this Croatian superstar. And as for Donna, she is absolutely soaking up every single second of this adoration. While Tatiana Maria was suffering a shocking upset, Vekic was cruising toward victory with such smoothness it looked like she was running on autopilot. She completely dismantled Maria Takacheva with a dominant 6-1, 6-2 scoreline that quite frankly felt even more lopsided than the numbers suggest. Vekic looks incredibly sharp and ravenously hungry for a win. Perhaps most dangerous for the rest of the field is the fact that she appears incredibly comfortable in these tropical conditions. We must not forget exactly who Donna Vekic is. This woman is a decorated Olympic silver medalist who has battled on the absolute biggest stages the world of tennis has to offer. She possesses an intimate knowledge of what is required to secure victory when the pressure reaches its absolute boiling point. Now, with the Manila crowd chanting her nickname in unison and the top seed removed from her path, she can practically smell that championship trophy waiting for her. She has already punched her ticket to the quarterfinals, and you better believe she is eyeing that title with deadly serious intent. The upsets and dramatic twists certainly did not end there. Thailand's Lanlana Tararudi managed to outlast Polina Kudermetova in a grueling physical straight sets battle, taking it 6-4, 6-4. It may not have been the prettiest display of tennis, but it was brutally effective and got the job done. Then we have the feisty Colombian warrior and fifth seed, Camila Osorio. This woman defines the word fighter in its truest, most literal sense. She advanced at the expense of Mai Hantama in an absolutely thrilling three-set war, clinching it 6-4, 4-6, 6-2. Osorio's entire game is constructed on a foundation of pure grit, relentless passion, and a stubborn refusal to give up on a single ball. She is now lurking dangerously in the draw, potentially lying in wait to face Alex Eala in what would undoubtedly be an epic semifinal clash, provided the stars align perfectly. But we are getting far ahead of ourselves here, and in the world of professional tennis, you can never afford to look past your immediate opponent. Because for Alex Eala to even begin dreaming about semifinals or championship matches, she must first survive what is shaping up to be her most dangerous assignment of the entire tournament. She has to confront a literal ghost from her past, and that ghost comes with a name. The headline for Alex Eala's next match is brutally simple: revenge or repeat. Alex takes the court for the round of 16 on Wednesday, and her opponent is none other than Japan's Himeno Sakatsume. Now, if you happen to be a casual tennis observer, you might be asking yourself, who exactly is Himeno Sakatsume? Well, you better buckle up because this is a name you absolutely need to become familiar with. It is also a name that likely gives Alex nightmares. Himeno Sakatsume is a 24-year-old talent from Japan, currently sitting at world ranking number 140. On paper, looking purely at the official rankings, she sits almost 100 spots below Alex Eala. It should be a straightforward victory for the home favorite, shouldn't it? A routine win to march into the quarterfinals? Absolutely wrong. Dead wrong. Sakatsume is a dangerous in-form player who knows exactly how to pick apart and dismantle an opponent's game plan piece by piece. She has just punched her ticket to this round after a grueling battle against her own compatriot Nao Hibino. We are talking about a seasoned veteran, a former top 60 player with years of tour experience under her belt, and it was a gritty 6-3, 7-5 victory. That hard-fought result tells you absolutely everything you need to understand about her mental toughness and her capacity to grind out wins in those razor-tight moments when the pressure is at its peak. She is riding a massive wave of momentum right now, coming fresh off a semi-final appearance at the Canberra International, which is another high-level WTA 125 event where she looked absolutely fantastic. If you look back at last season, she was unstoppable, capturing the W100 title in Takasaki and snatching a W50 crown over in Canada. Make no mistake, this woman knows exactly how to collect hardware. She thrives under pressure. She knows exactly how to shut the door and close out matches. But listen, the real headline here, the narrative that makes this upcoming clash absolute appointment viewing, has nothing to do with her ranking or her current hot streak. It is entirely about their shared history. It is about the heavy baggage they are bringing onto the court from the last time these two women locked horns across a tennis net. You have to rewind the tape to 2023 in Osaka, Japan. A young, ambitious Alex Eala stepped out onto the court to face Himeno Sakatsume in what everyone predicted would be a competitive back-and-forth tussle between two rising stars. But that is not what went down. What actually unfolded was a total massacre, a comprehensive demolition job. Sakatsume completely destroyed Eala 6-love 6-3 in a match that honestly wasn't even as competitive as that second-set score might lead you to believe. It stood as one of the most stinging, humbling defeats of Alex's budding career up to that point. She was blown off the court like a dry leaf caught in a hurricane, utterly unable to solve the puzzle of the Japanese player's relentless consistency and court coverage. A loss like that leaves a mark. It leaves a deep psychological scar. Those are the kinds of beatdowns that stick with you. They haunt your thoughts. They wake you up at 3:00 in the morning in a cold sweat. And now, 3 long years later, here in 2026, the tennis gods have conspired to bring these two women back together for a massive rematch. But friends, this time around, the script has flipped completely. We are not in Osaka anymore. We are in Manila. The crowd is not going to be sitting on their hands politely clapping for both sides. They are going to be roaring for Alexa until their throats are raw and their voices completely give out. The heat and humidity are different. The court surface plays differently. The stakes are stratospherically different. And perhaps most crucial of all, Alex Eala is a completely fundamentally different beast today. Since that crushing afternoon in Osaka, Alex has reinvented her game. She has cracked the code to break into the top 50 of the world rankings, smashing through a barrier that stops countless talented players in their tracks. She has taken down legitimate Grand Slam champions. She has physically matured into a powerhouse athlete who can dictate the flow of play from the baseline and bully opponents off the court. But here is the catch about tennis, and really about sports in general. The mental scars are very real things. They do not just vanish into thin air just because you have improved your forehand or won other matches. When Alex walks onto that court tomorrow and locks eyes with Sakatsume across the net for the first time in 3 years, she is going to recall that 6-love first set. She is going to remember that sinking feeling of total helplessness, of nothing working, of being thoroughly outplayed. The opening few games of this contest will be absolutely pivotal to see where her head is at. Can Alex exorcise those demons from Osaka? Or will Sakatsume prove once again to be her absolute kryptonite? This matchup is the textbook definition of must-watch tennis. On one side, you have the hometown hero carrying the hopes, dreams, and expectations of an entire nation fueled by a literal presidential decree to bring the crown home. On the other side, you have the dangerous underdog who has already proven she holds the blueprint to dismantle the favorite. You have the electric atmosphere of the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center, which is going to be absolutely deafening with passionate Filipino fans. And you have a revenge storyline that feels like it was ripped straight out of a sports movie. Script. We need to take a second to talk about the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center because this venue is currently witnessing genuine history in the making. Hosting the first ever WTA tournament in the Philippines is a massive, groundbreaking deal for the growth of the sport in this entire region. For literal decades, die-hard Filipino tennis fans have been forced to watch their heroes exclusively through television screens or spend a fortune traveling thousands of miles abroad just to catch a fleeting glimpse of top-tier professional tennis action. Now finally, the tour has come to their doorstep. The tour has recognized the fervor and dedication of the Filipino fan base. The atmosphere at this tournament is unlike anything else on the current tour calendar. It is loud, it is passionate, it is incredibly knowledgeable about the nuances of tennis, and it is creating a formidable, intimidating home court advantage. The players are definitely feeling it. Tatiana Maria, despite suffering a devastating loss, was incredibly gracious about the overwhelming hospitality and fan support she received. Donna Vekic has publicly stated that the energy in Manila rivals or even surpasses some of the Grand Slam tournaments she has competed in. That is the raw power of the Filipino tennis fan. But let's be completely honest with ourselves here. We all want to see Alex lift that trophy high. The narrative is simply too perfect to ignore. The princess of Philippine tennis winning the inaugural WTA event on home soil in front of her own people after receiving a blessing from the president. It is written in the stars. It feels like destiny. However, professional sports do not care about your fairy tale narratives or destiny. The tennis ball does not read scripts. Himeno Sakatsume does not care about storylines or what would make the crowd happy. She is here to win this match. She wants that prize money. She is on a mission to secure those critical ranking points. She has arrived in Manila with a singular goal to crash the celebration and send shockwaves through the tennis world once more. As we count down the final hours to this colossal Wednesday evening showdown, the atmosphere is thickening and the tension is building to levels that are becoming almost impossible to handle. That specific 15-word mandate from the president is currently lighting up every smartphone inside the stadium and trending across the entire archipelago. Bring the crown home to where it belongs. It stands simultaneously as a presidential directive, a fervent wish, and a national prayer all fused into one high-stakes declaration. We are witnessing what could arguably be the most pivotal watershed moment in Alex Eala's blossoming professional career to date. If she secures the victory in this tournament, if she can conquer her internal doubts and hoist this trophy, she catapults herself straight toward the top 30 of the global standings. Such a win secures her direct entry into the main draw for all the Grand Slams. She is on the verge of becoming a cultural icon, rivaling the status of boxing legend Manny Pacquiao. However, if she falters, particularly if she falls to Sakatsume for a second time, it becomes a devastating psychological hurdle to clear. It becomes a difficult lesson to absorb. And let us be honest, learning experiences in the heat of professional sports are excruciatingly painful in the moment. The stage is officially set for Alex Eala versus Himeno Sakatsume, slated for prime time this Wednesday evening beneath the dazzling floodlights of Manila. You can expect the humidity to be thick and suffocating, while the home crowd will be generating a deafening roar from the opening serve to the final handshake. It is Eala against Sakatsume, the Philippines taking on Japan, the Avenger seeking redemption against her ultimate nemesis. It is the surging prodigy facing off against the tactician who holds the cheat sheet to defeat her. You simply could not script a more compelling narrative for this event if you tried. So we need to know your thoughts, tennis family. Can Alex Eala avenge that heartbreaking loss from 2023 and march confidently toward the title? Was the message from President Marcos the precise fuel she required to ignite her competitive fire, or does it pile an unbearable amount of weight onto shoulders already burdened by expectation? Also, are you as stunned as we are by the shocking early elimination of Tatiana Maria? We want to read your opinions in the comments section below right now. We make it a point to go through every single contribution from our community. Give us your official forecasts. Who survives the Wednesday clash? Eala or Sakatsume? What is your exact score prediction for the match? And now that the #1 seed has been knocked out and the bracket is blown wide open, who is your dark horse pick to lift the championship trophy this Sunday? If you are enjoying this comprehensive deep dive into the absolute madness and drama of the Philippine Women's Open, please do us a massive favor. That support is vital for helping the channel expand. Go ahead and smash that like button immediately. Share this update with all your friends and family who love the sport. And if you have not joined our squad yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and toggle on the notification bell so you are alerted the second breaking news or dramatic updates drop, ensuring you never miss a beat. We are marching toward 5,000 subscribers, and we want you right there on this journey with us for every serve, every volley, and every plot twist. Do not change that channel, because the theater in Manila is only just starting to ramp up. The draw is broken wide open, the heavy favorites are shaking, the underdogs are dreaming big, and the hometown hero is standing firm in the eye of the storm. With her racket firmly in hand, she is prepared to battle for her flag, Laban Pilipinas. That is the mantra of the night. That is the war cry, reverberating through the streets of Manila tonight. Do not blink. Do not look away for a second, or you might miss history in the making. Once again, we want to extend a massive thank you from the bottom of our hearts for helping us cross the 4,000 subscriber milestone. You guys are the absolute lifeblood of this platform. Let us keep the momentum going and push toward 5,000 by the end of this tournament. If Alex takes the title, we promise to host a special live stream celebration with all of you. This is your premier source for tennis drama signing off for now. The ball is in play. The eyes of the world are fixed on the court. Let us witness history together. Now that the tactical situation has been laid bare, something the insiders knew about, but is now fully exposed to the public eye, the dynamic shifts. And really, can you blame the excitement? As she said in the post-match presser, it was great to play today. The crowd was amazing and it was a good match. So I am really happy with the performance. I did not have that many wins in recent matches. Surprise,